Hello again, everyone. Welcome back. Well, today I'm reviewing the highly anticipated brand new Perdomo double-aged vintage cigar. This is the cigar. This is the Connecticut. And as of today's date, in real time, it is only available in Connecticut. Later or late September and shortly thereafter, the Sun-Grown will be available and the Maduro will follow that. But this is what we have for now. This is the Connecticut. And the size I chose today to review is the Epicure. I like the Epicure size that Perdomo does. This one, particular one, is 6x56. Now, where we get the name 12-year double aged is all these tobaccos are aged 10 years in bales. Then they're aged an additional 2 years in white oak bourbon barrels. It's a double aging process, and Perdomo says it ensures perfect color, texture, aroma, and flavor. Now that's quite a long time, 12 years total. So let's get right to it. But before we do, let's look at the band. The band has a lot of information there. You have your normal, well, what's come to be the vintage band for Perdomo. But underneath that you have the age 12 years and tasting notes actually around the edges. So there is the density. Very weighty in the hand. You can tell it's a very dense cigar. It's very well made. Again, being Connecticut, it's very light in color. So 6x56, the Epicure in the Perdomo 12-year double aged vintage. Let's get right to it. All right, let's clip just the very top part of the cap. Very good draw. Has just the slightest bit of firmness to it. Just the slightest bit, but very, very good draw. You have a lot of citrus notes you can tell come through, sweet citrus right away. Undefinable initially, but as you can tell, it's a citrus. Cream notes are coming through right away. Lots of white pepper in this particular cigar. White pepper at around 7.5, close to an 8 initially. The citrus, because we're a minute or so into it now, could be defined as a very almost candy-like orange citrus. Has a lot of sweetness to it. It's very sweet, sweet like a candy, and the cream is directly attached to it. There's some little subtle nutmeg notes. So as you can see, we're just starting. Those are your initial flavors right at light up. Not bad. So let's let it sit for a minute. We'll be right back. Well, I guess I'm about an inch in. And at this point, the citrus, the nutmeg, and the cream are in almost exact amounts. And if you were to take those three flavors in exact amounts and mix them together, that's what you have. I would also add coffee notes at the base. There is definitely black coffee. You can barely, I mean, it's just holding the base. It's not an overwhelming flavor, but it's a nice coffee flavor. White pepper remains good. There's actually some nice lingering white pepper on the finish. And speaking of the finish, it is a very, very thick, sweet cream. Very nice. About what you would expect. Now the cigar is at this point about mild to medium. Again, what you might expect. there's a large degree of smoothness to the cigar. And I would also add, this is a new term for a lot of you, and one I don't use very often, but for a Connecticut cigar, this is a meaty cigar. It has quite a bit of depth. Well, we're right here at the band. I need to remove it. But what the flavors are nice, still the lead flavor is the nice sweet orange, citrus. The secondary flavors of nutmeg and cream are still there, but those two actually combine to give me also a faux flavor or an actual flavor of white chocolate. It's very nice, very thick white chocolate too. Almost it coats the whole palate. Now this band is one solid big band, and you will see that again here later. The finish is still sweet cream with some accents of the citrus notes. And the white pepper, the lingering white pepper is still there. Not an overwhelming amount, but very noticeable. The cigar is a low-grade medium at this point, and burning very evenly. So I'll be right back. Well, as you can see, I'm past the midpoint. Not very far, but your sweet orange citrus is still there as your primary flavor. The nutmeg has gone quite subtle. Actually, the cream notes are subtle. The coffee notes are still there, and there are now a few notes of roasted nuts, really mixed with that citrus. So you've got a lot of citrus, roasted nuts, subtle cream, and even more subtle nutmeg. Nutmeg's almost gone. The finish is still very thick, sweet cream with a touch of influence of the citrus as it was before. Medium bodied now. Pepper is still very good on both ends. That's about all I can say about it. It's a slow burning cigar. As a matter of fact, all these cigars are a large ring gauge. Let me give you the breakdown of what they are. The Robusto is 5 by 56. The Epicure that I'm reviewing today is 6 by 56. The Churchill is 7 by 56. The Gordo Extra 6.5 by 60, and the Salomon 6 1/8 by 60. So they're all large ring cigars, 56 or 60. So that's where we stand, just past the midpoint. And at this rate, we've still got another good 30 minutes or so. Well, as you can see, I am down to the end, so let's wrap it up. Still have your nice orange citrus as your lead flavor. The cream is somewhat subtle, but it is attached to it. The roasted nuts are there, and the coffee at the base. The white pepper remained very good. Probably ended at around a 7. Upper end of medium bodied. You can feel some Lajero in the cigar. Finish is unchanged. Sweet cream with some influence of citrus and nice lingering white pepper. Been a very good cigar. Nick is proud of his cigars, and he should be proud of this one. It's a very good cigar. I am highly anticipating the Sun-Grown. As anyone knows, I am a huge Sun-Grown fan. But this Connecticut was very tasty. Well worth the wait. Around $10.50 for the Robusto, around $12.50 for the Churchill. This fell somewhere in the middle there. Very good cigar. On shelves now in limited stores. Only Nick's top accounts got these cigars. So if you find a shop with them, they are a top account with Perdomo, and I suggest you grab them up because they won't be around very long. There's a limited amount, and that's the reason he gave them only to the top stores. So the Perdomo Double Aged Vintage Connecticut, very good cigar. I'm rating it a 92. I really think that anyone that's a Connecticut fan would love it. Anyone that's a Perdomo fan would love it. Basically, get the cigar and try it for yourself. You're going to like it a lot. So there you have it, the Perdomo double aged vintage Connecticut 92.